Hey, what up YouTube? This is Izong. Thanks for tuning in. So it's the 27th of February, the day that Ed dropped, and with Ed also a small balance patch dropped for Street Fighter 6. So in this video, I'm gonna give you guys a visual guide to what exactly changed and what that means for your character. Let's dive into it. Alright, so I have the patch notes here in front of me on my phone. I will project them on the screen while I'm making this video for you guys. And let's go through them, one by one, character by character. And before we start, it's good to know that if they fixed issues, I'm gonna skip over them quickly, alright? I'm only doing the more important stuff. Starting off with Luke. I played a bunch of Luke and I made a guide for him, so I'm pretty aware of him. First of all, they really nerfed this crouching medium punch, which was about time. 3 frames of recovery added when the attack misses. So if you whiffs this in front of you because he's fishing for not even a whiff punish, a wish punish, he himself is more likely to be whiff punished. That works in conjunction with the fact that the size of the feet hurt boxes between frames 6 and 24 have been expanded. So he has 3 more frames of recovery, plus the hurt box is bigger, also making it easier to whiff punish. And the size of the arm hurt box from frame 19 onwards has been expanded. So that's after it's been active. So the recovery frames, 3 more recovery frames, and those frames also have an extended hurt box. That's good. He kinda deserved that. His aerial flash knuckle. The landing recovery of this move when performed at the peak of a jump. And if it misses, it has been extended by 7 frames. Alright. So he gets 7 more frames of recovery if he does the flash knuckle in the air. And that is at the peak of a jump and when it misses. Alright, so if he uses that to get out of the corner, he has 7 more frames of recovery, making it easier to whiff punish if you didn't perform an anti-air on him. So if you call it out, you get a bigger reward. Change the trajectory of this move when performed at the peak of a jump and misses. Alright, we're gonna have to test that. The size of the feet hurt boxes have been expanded from frame 16 until the end of the move. Alright, so 7 more frames of recovery and bigger hurt boxes when landing. But they did change the trajectory to balance it out. Next up, Jamie, which is a little harder for me because I don't play Jamie. But we saw this on Twitter already. The forward throw now has a follow-up attack. So if you hold the throw button, you can go into a drink. And you're still plus there. Don't get real oaky, but you get a drink level up. That is good. His SA1, his Super 1. More damage from 2100 to 2200. He needs that. And the damage on the second hit from 7050 to 1850 also needs that. Alright, so he now gets the same damage as if you're already in a drink level 2, so that's good. That increases his damage when he doesn't have the drinks. He needs that in matchups like Guile, for example. Pushback on hit is no longer applied when his move lands on an opponent in a corner. Okay, so less pushback on hit in the corner, so he gets more pressure after using this. And they recover 5 frames longer. Alright, so those two work together, so they recover longer and you're closer to them, so you can pressure them in the corner. Is SA2? Oh yeah, they said that you can keep the drinks, right? The drink level has been raised prior to activation. Alright, so if you add 2 drinks and then you activate level 2, after it's done you go back to 2 drinks. That's fair. And then overdrive tension, fixed issues. We're not gonna go into that. Next up is Ryu. Is overdrive a Shoryuken. The first hit's effect from a knockback to a blowback. Alright, so it's a blowback knockdown. Let's demonstrate that. Yeah. So they blow back much further away from Ryu, so he can start zoning again. Solar Plexus, that's the forward heavy punch. Proximity block detection hitbox. From frames 2 to 18. Okay, so if the opponent is close to you when you press this move, it's harder for the opponent to jump away. So proximity block means that they're stuck in block stun when they're close to the move, which is good for Ryu because his move is plus on block. Okay, and then they changed the Hashugekis. I heard about this. Recovery from -4 to -3 on the light one. That's very handy. So ending a block string in light Hashugeki is now safe. That's good. Knockback on block has been decreased. So when they move this, you're closer to them. So you do put yourself into a strike throw mix up there. That's not great. The knockback on block while in burnout has been increased. Okay, so if Ryu is in burnout and he uses his move, they knock back a little bit further. So he's not in throw range after that. That's good. And the distance covered between the end of the active frames and the end of recovery has been decreased. Not sure what they mean by that. The distance covered between the end of the active frames and the end of the recovery frames. Okay, so that is basically the recovery. Okay, so you're closer to them. They want you to be closer to the opponent after using Hashogeki, both in a good way and in a bad way. Medium Hashogeki, the hitbox has been expanded forward, that's good. Projectile Clash hitbox has been expanded, also good. Means if you throw this out and they happen to throw a projectile, you're more likely to nullify it. Heavy Hashogeki, same, expanded, knockback on block decreased, we saw that already. And the distance covered between the end of the... Okay, we already saw that. So the knockback on block also has been decreased. In case of the heavy Hashogeki, that's good because that's plus on block. So that puts you into a strike throw mix-up. That's good. Because it's pretty risky to throw this out. If people drive impact this on a guess, you die, right? So it's good that it gets more reward. And the overdrive Hashogeki, same. Better against projectiles. Less knockback on block and on hit, so that's good. More combo ability and better on block. The Denjin charge, hitbox better. Okay, same changes here, so that's good. That's really good. Okay, Hadoken, his fireball. The size of the hurt box around the arms have been reduced. That effectively makes him a better zoner. So his fireball game should be a little bit better. And the same goes for Shinku Hadoken. That's his level 1. Size of the hurt box around the arms have been reduced, so it's harder to knock him out of it. Alright, next up Ken. Stand Light Punch. The size of the arm hurt box between frames 2 and 6, so that's startup and the active frames, has been expanded. And the size of the hurt box after 7 and 8 have been decreased. Okay, so the startup and active frames, he has a bigger hurt box. Oh, they did this specifically to nerf his Drive Rush Light Punch, I'm pretty sure of it. So when this move starts up from Drive Rush, it's really hard to interrupt. And they gave him a bigger hurt box there. I want this change for everybody. This is good. But frame 7 and 8, so those are the ladder frames. Those are recovery frames. The size of the hurt box there has been decreased. So it's harder to whiff punish, but it's also more risky to use this as a Drive Rush option, which is great. Because that move is annoying as hell. The forward throw, yeah, we already saw that one. His Oki in the corner has been reduced, so no more brain dead throw loops. You have to dash up and you're gonna be +1. So that's interesting because if you're +1, you can beat anything that they do by pressing your 4 framers, so they have to block there. But you have to manually time it, so if you want to throw them from +1 and you throw his 5 frames, you're gonna be jabbed out. It's gonna trade with a light punch, and 4 framers beat throws in Street Fighter 6. So you cannot just throw loop them. You have to dash up and press light punch, and then you're in a strike throw situation. So it's a little bit more skill based now. I like that. And then the OD aerial Tatsumaki. 7 more frames of recovery if it misses. And the push box has been adjusted. Okay, so it's harder to jump over this move. But if Ken throws this out and it doesn't hit anything, it has 7 more frames of recovery. We also saw this on the aerial flash knuckle with Luke. Next up, Zangief, which is hard for me. I'm not that familiar with him, but we already saw the OD double lariat. Adjusted so that the second attack hits opponents who are not in the air 1 frame earlier. Okay, that makes it so it's quicker. Startup is quicker then. Adjusted so that the second attack knocks down the opponent for an additional 1 frame if it hits when not in the air. So this is all for grounded opponents. This is not an anti-air function. Adjust the hit reaction to the first attack when the SA3 to connect. Okay. Yeah, that's why they did it. So it's gonna hit 1 frame better on the ground. The hitbox is better on the ground, and now that's why you can cancel into your level 3. So this gives him access. It does cost 2 bars, but this does give him access to his to combo into his SA3, which is good. So if you have like if you got your opponent at like 40, 45, 50% health, you have a route now to kill them with your level 3. Alright, Aerial Rushal Slam, that's the SA1, the Super 1. The hitbox has been expanded downwards. Thank God, because it's so stupid when he tries to use this and he just completely whiffs. They should give it a much bigger hitbox. They say nothing about making it bigger, but yeah, they did. They expanded it downward. Okay, so that's bigger now, so it should not drop as often. And then his level 2, they extended the collision push box. This negate, this makes it more easy to combo into. Okay, doesn't really change anything outside of just quality of life stuff. Next up, Chun-Li. Standing light punch. The size of the hurt boxes around the arms and legs between frames 2 and 8 have been expanded. Same changes with Ken. I'm really happy. They really try to slowly nerf down Drive Rush a little bit. Drive Rush jab. Alright, 100. The aerial 100 lightning kicks. So Chun-Li players use this to bait a throw. And they get a big combo, right? So now there's an initial scaling of 20%. So if you bait your opponent into a throw with the aerial lightning kicks and you go into a combo, you still can do the same combo with the same knockdown, but there's much more scaling, so it does less damage. I think that's fair. Oh, that's it. Next up, Dee Jay. Funky Slicer. That is his sway with the low kick follow-up. Knockback on block has been decreased. I like that. The size of the hurt box after the active frames has been expanded. Bigger hurt box. So easier to whiff punish. And it is -3 on block, right? Oh, right. So it leaves him much closer. So, okay, using this is much more risky. Because on block, you're in a strike throw mix-up. And if you whiff, it's easier to whiff punish. Fair changes. Dhalsim, Yoga Teleport, fixed an issue, okay. Heavy Yoga Flame, fixed an issue, we're gonna skip over that. Blanka, fixed an issue, we're gonna skip over that. Manon. En haute, no clue what that is. Adjusted so that this move has greater inertia when performed out of a drive rush. Okay. I'm gonna have to check this out and then add it into the video because I do not know what this move is. But it is a move that you can perform out of a drive rush, so it's probably a command normal. So they changed that. Made it better, so that's good. And then the level 2, I saw Idom post this on X or on Twitter, whatever. This makes it easier to combo into because this would drop if you hit it at a peak height and you go into the level 2. It sometimes wouldn't connect. I've played Manon players who had this happen. It's pretty bad. So they fixed that, so that's good. I see that more as a fix, not really a buff. Next up, JP. Modern controls, we're gonna skip that. His heavy punch and crouching heavy punch. They expanded the size of the hurt box during the active frames. Alright, so that makes it easier to whiff punish. And less likely to actually beat another button in neutral. Okay. Crouching heavy punch, that's his crouching his anti-air. Invincibility to mid-air attacks, that's jump-ins. That this move applied to the upper body has been removed. Oh damn. They nerfing his anti-air, that's interesting. Crouching heavy punch is a really good anti-air and he gets a good situation after he anti-airs with it because he can go into a ghost or into a fake, whatever. So it's no longer anti-air invincible. That seems a little harsh even. I wouldn't mind if they let him keep that, but okay. Oh yeah, normal and OD amnesia. I read about this already. They adjusted the immediate scaling value from 15% to 60%. So they're gonna nerf the hell out of this damage. Yeah, we saw that. It does way less damage now, so the reward is much less. Has an initial scaling value of 50%. Jesus. Performing SA3, that's the Super 3, on a knockback opponent will now cause the projectile generated from catching an opponent attack with this move to detonate quicker. Not sure what that implies. I know what it means, but I don't know what the advantage or disadvantage is. I'm not a JP player. After successfully catching an opponent's attack with his move, JP's SA gauge will now not increase until either the generated projectile is gone or until the current combo ends. Okay, so he cannot build bar if he doesn't get a hit. So when the projectiles are out, it takes longer to build bar. He's gonna build less bar from this combo, basically. Okay, that's pretty interesting. They really nerfed the crap out of this move. The drive gauge increased from drive parrying and perfect parrying, the overdrive version, the OD amnesia. If you parry that, instead of 2500 times 2, you now get 5000 times 2. So if you perfect parry this, you get rewarded more. Okay, so that's also more risk for JP. Fixed an issue, okay, whatever. Normal and overdrive departure now has an initial scaling value of 20%. Departure, that's just called a circle back punch move, right? Initial scaling value of 20%, okay, that's a damage nerf. The drive gauge increase from drive parrying or perfect parrying, the normal version of this move has been changed from 5000 to 7500. Again, it rewards the opponent for parrying JP's moves. Rashid. Fixed an issue, okay. Stand light punch. The size of the hurt box around the arms between frames 2 and 8 have been expanded. So once again, they're doing this to nerf drive rush jab. I'm pretty sure. Because in the size of the hurt box around the arms between frame 9 and 11 have been decreased. So we saw this with Ken, with Chun-Li, and now with Rashid. Drive rush with the jab, he's gonna have a bigger hurt box. So it's easier to mash him out of it. But if he throws out a light button in neutral, it's also harder to whiff punish because his hurt box is going to be smaller when recovering. But that's not a move you're going to try to whiff punish, so that's not really a buff. These are straight up nerfs. Overdrive spinning mixer. The third attack is now invincible to mid-air attacks until the end of its active frames. Thank God, Rashid's anti-air sucks. And you spend 2 bars for an OD spinning mixer and it only has 6 invincible frames. They extended that now. He gets more invincibility on the anti-air for longer. That's really good for him. He deserves that because having a character without an anti-air is so annoying. Isar fixed an issue. Oh yeah. Oh, that's the ghost hit, right? Well, after it's gone, you can still get hit. They made that disappear. That's good. And then Aki. I made an Aki guide, so I'm pretty aware of this character. Stand medium punch. The number of active frames for this attack has been adjusted from 3 to 5 frames. Damn. Medium punch is 5 frames now. 5 active frames. That's really good. They're gonna find meaty situations with this, where you hit on the 3rd, 4th, or 5th active frame, and you're gonna make this move plus. It's a -3 on block now, but with 5 active frames, you can get it up to +2. There are situations where you're gonna get it up to +2. So all my techies, get into the lab and make something happen, alright? This is good. If you're like +7, +8 on a knockdown, smash that medium punch. You're gonna be plus. Crouching light punch. The attack hitbox has been expanded forward. Oh, damn. That means he can now get 3 hits like any normal character. So Aki can do crouching light punch, crouching light kick, crouching light punch. So she now gets a 3-hit light confirmed. That is really good because she deserves that, yeah. That's really good because her defense is pretty average. Her neutral's also average. Her Oki and knockdowns are really good, but her pressure is not that good because she has to confirm from 2 hits. And if she's not point blank, she only gets 1 hit and she can't confirm that. So now she can do 3 hits. She has more range on those lights. And those lights lead into a great knockdown. So this is going to make her confirm and her pressure game much better. So I don't think that actually moves her up that much on the tier list, but this is more than just the quality of life change. She needs this. This plus the better medium punch, this might move her up a little bit. And then the overdrive snake stab fixed an issue. Alright. Alright guys, so that was it. What do you guys think? It was not a big patch, but for me personally, the biggest takeaway is that they started their plan to nerf drive rush jab, which is so annoying. That's how Eva was won by Angry Mert, as you guys know. 3 of the top characters have been nerfed with Rashid, Chun-Li, and Ken. Drive rush jab, they all have been nerfed. Plus Luke, of course, the crouching medium punch has been nerfed. I thought the nerf on Dee Jay was pretty significant. And Aki and Zangief and Jamie, they've been buffed pretty well, not great, but this should make him more functional. I think the biggest winner of this patch for me is actually Ryu. His Hashogeki is looking much better. The proximity block on forward heavy punch is pretty good. And they actually made him into a better zoner. So after the OD uppercut, he gets more space to zone. His fireballs have a smaller hurt box on startup, making it harder to jab him out of it or mash him out of it. I think this is pretty good for Ryu. I'm really excited to see what a guy like Ending Walker is gonna do with this character. And of course my guy Paladin. See how far he can take Ryu and if this is enough. Hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up. I'm gonna edit it all up now. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.